I think it's time for us to hand over to our host for the day now. He's a VC, management consultant, advisor, and tech entrepreneur, and he is the CEO of Innovate Finance. Since stepping into the role in 2015, Lawrence has led a period of ambitious growth and expansion for the organization. He's been named as one of FinTech's most powerful deal makers in 2016 by Institutional Investor and recognized as one of the country's leading advocates for FinTech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lawrence Wintermeyer.
Thank you for that kind welcome. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Innovate Finance Global Summit, our members' summit. Welcome to the Guildhall, the home of global FinTech, and welcome to the kickoff of UK FinTech Week. So we do have over 2,000 delegates here today, I think from 25 global hubs, 30 countries, 500 founders and executives from our over 300 members, and this is our members' summit. Last year, I was often asked where the term FinTech comes from. I heard the term first used as a venture capital category, ad tech, martech, medtech, clean tech. But the first written reference I came across to FinTech was Citicorp 25 years ago for a smart card interoperability project. So how far do you want to go back in history? Internet banking, the NASDAQ, the first computerized exchange, the cash machine, the credit card, maybe right back to the stock exchange, or coin, paper currency. My favorite is the invention of debit and credit. Financial services using state-of-the-art technology and the technology of its time has a long history. Today, digital is the greatest accelerator in the history of financial services. And Baron Anthony Giddens, one of the most prominent UK sociologists, believes that we in humankind have come to a crossroad. Digital is moving at a faster pace than social anthropology. And he offers three inventions that have really come together to deliver us to this crossroad in history. The first one is the mobile phone, the supercomputer in your hand. The second is artificial intelligence, the app that knows what you want to do before you do. And the third is the internet, connecting you 24/7 to everyone and everything in the world. Putting access, intelligence, and networks into the hands of 8 billion people challenges central control, government, and corporations, and creates many new forces for humankind, both good and bad. So how privileged are we here today to have someone who knows more about this than anyone else in the world, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the internet. We'll be hearing from a bit later. The question I've been asked most recently is, what is the impact of Trump, populism, and Brexit on FinTech? And I actually preferred the first question last year. It was a bit easier to get through. So Trump, well, too early to tell. Since the early indications of the repeal of the Dodd-Frank Act, we haven't heard much. What we do know is that there is a high degree of collaboration between US institutions and FinTechs. And in 2016, the US-led FinTech funding rounds with over 650 deals, pretty vibrant FinTech ecosystem. Populism, too early to tell. Mohammed Al-Arian believes that the advanced world has lost its ability to grow in a high and inclusive manner. And when that ability is lost and people lose confidence, things start going wrong and start to break. He said this last year when an increasing share of the government's debt was yielding negative. and before many had actually heard the words Trump, populism, and Brexit. Brexit, too early to tell. The government must ensure that the UK remains the most attractive FinTech ecosystem in the world through attracting global STEM talent and investment while developing our own homegrown talent and investment. As importantly, the government must continue its program of building FinTech bridges to global hubs. Immediately following the referendum in the UK, we had a bumper quarter in FinTech funding with 4 of the largest deals of 2016. And VCs referring to Brexit, and that is the referendum, as a blip. Investors tell us that they invest in talent, and it's talent that creates great companies. And we have an abundance of talent here in the UK. Innovators tell us that they see opportunity with political change, and innovators and startups are very agile and have a very different view of risk from most of us. While innovators and institutions are well capitalized, profit from risk, and have global franchises. So whilst it's too early to tell the impact of Trump, populism, and Brexit might have on FinTech, our members remain cautiously optimistic about the future and are just getting on with business. The UK government has led the way with progressive policy. The competition mandate has been translated into an innovator-friendly environment for digital acceleration, with the Financial Conduct Authority launching Project Innovate, the Regulatory Sandbox, and the Industry Sandbox consultation, and the Bank of England launching the FinTech Accelerator. As part of UK FinTech Week on Wednesday, the Financial Conduct Authority will be hosting an International Innovate Forum for 90 global regulators. And Treasury will be hosting an International FinTech Investment Conference for over 300 investors from around the world. The UK Department for International Trade hosts FinTech trade missions to global hubs. And this is one of the most highly rated programs in our membership community. Over 100 of our members have participated in these missions and give the DIT a big thumbs up on these. Regional hubs in Scotland, Leeds, Manchester, and London are all part of a formidable UK FinTech ecosystem. The City of London has been visionary in its support for FinTech and for cyber. The City of London's Network Action Group convenes trade and industry associations and bodies to lobby for FinTech, and the group's developing a response to the Patient Capital Review, the government's review of getting long-term capital into the UK venture ecosystem. The City of London Police run a National Fraud Intelligence Bureau. The Bureau is nationally coordinating the response to digital financial services crime, fraud, and cyber, and it's a beacon for global best practice. All of this in the UK is FinTech leadership in action, and we partner very well with the global community. I'd like to thank Canary Wharf Group and the City of London, Innovate Finance's funding sponsors. We wouldn't be here without your benevolent funding and support. Innovate Finance is a not-for-profit. Institutional membership fees and sponsor support allow us to deliver services to startups who join for £1,000. Benevolent funding and pro bono hours are critical to getting us over the line. I'd like to pay tribute to Mark Bolliat, the chairman of the Policy and Resources Committee at the City of London, as he serves his final weeks. I consider Mark one of our founding fathers, and he's led the charge in investment, governance, and policy leadership for Innovate Finance. And Mark, you've been a personal advisor to me, and I thank you for your wisdom, your patience, and your support. We wish you well in your new role as the chairman of Link, and we'll miss you. I'd like to thank the Innovate Finance Board under Alistair Lukes for his leadership and their unwavering support. Al and I have been aligned on what Innovate Finance needs to do since we very first met. I'd especially like to thank the Innovate Finance team. We deliver more than 70 curated programs to you over the course of the year, and your high approval ratings of what we do really gives us a great sense of purpose. You cannot win championships without world-class players, and world-class players that know how to win a cup final. And I have the best team in the game. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you, our members, our startups, our growth companies, our financial institutions, our technology firms, our professional service firms, and our partners. It's your drive to innovate financial services that's nothing short of awe-inspiring. We invite the global community here every year to your summit so that you can show the world our FinTech talent and leadership in action. You're delivering the digital big bang of financial services, open banking, API marketplaces, digital currency and assets, personal financial digital assistance, encrypted digital identities, and universal access to a range of financial services, all available to our citizens and businesses. The UK has the blueprint for the best FinTech ecosystem in the world because of our FinTech talent and leadership. We've been innovating financial services here in the City of London for more than 1,000 years, and long shall we continue. You, our members, have been given more and better tools than any generation in history to undertake this bold mission. And it's you leading the drive to innovate the future of finance. Our mission is to serve you, and it is a privilege for me and the team at Innovate Finance to do this. Thank you for listening. Have a great summit over the next 2 days, and enjoy UK FinTech Week.